Welcome to a new video by 78 Puertas. In today's video I want to show you, make this review and flip through of this deck. My personal restoration of this, the Tarot de Marseille by Dodal. The Major Arcana, just the Major Arcana. It's a project in which I've been working for the last year and a bit more than a year it has taken me to achieve that. Why I did this? Because the decks available in the market are too vintage. They appear with an appearance that look too old for me, for my taste, or an oversized deck that is, well, too big for me. I've always said that I have small hands, so I wanted to have a small deck that everyone, including me, could shuffle, so that me and other people, in my case, could use this deck without a problem. So I decided to make it and I finished it. These are the cards. When you buy this deck, you get 24 cards, the 22 Major Arcana plus 2 extra cards, and this is one. Well, and here I say, well, these are the 22 Major Arcana from the Tarot de Marseille by Dodal. He was a card maker who was active in the city of Lyon in France between 1701 and 1715, which makes when he made his deck, he didn't include the year in the Two of Coins. You know that in the Two of Coins there is a ribbon, and normally in that ribbon the card maker writes the year in which it's made the cards, the deck. No, well, in this particular case, he didn't do it. Dodal didn't do it, so it's not for sure in which year it was made, this deck, but most people agree that this is from the year 1701. This would make this deck the second oldest Tarot de Marseille, only second to the one by Jean Noblet, which is more or less from 1650. So we have here the second oldest Tarot de Marseille, and one that I've always liked, and it's very special for me. And well, here I also say that what I've just told you, the decks available in the market are too big for me, so I decided to make my own version, my own restoration of this great deck with a size, medium size, that I could shuffle, me and everyone else with small hands. I wanted it to have vivid, intense and vibrant colors which provide this deck a modern look. So because that's the other thing that I told you before. The appearance of most of the decks available in the market are vintage, are old, and it's not a problem to me, it's okay, but I prefer this, and I wanted this, and as I said before, it's not available in the market, so I decided to make it for myself and for other people like me. This deck has a few, let's say, landmarks, some key elements that identify this deck from others, and one of them is the backside. This bird footprint, if you want. Other people say that it looks like eyes watching at you, I don't know, but I really like it. It's very specific and it's very identificative of this deck, the Tarot de Marseille by Dodal. Well, you will see the other elements bit by bit, as you will be able to see the cards, the look. Everything is modern, the colors are intense, very vivid. As you can see by this face, this is the Tarot de Marseille type 1, not a type 2. Well, here, I forgot to mention, this is one element that I've changed, this color. In the original, this person has a blue ass. Sorry for the word, but as it was not logical at all, I decided to change it and to give it a skin color. A skin color that I haven't applied in hands or faces, because I wanted it to be uncolored, so that everyone can be represented in this deck, no matter what's the color of the skin. I don't want any racial elements or any racism here, not at all. Here I've erased also a few lines, and I've changed the distribution of the colors to make here on this X. You see it? It's not typical. Here's La Papesse, and here we can see the hands, just because the hands and the faces are uncolored. So it's more easy to determine what it is a hand and what is not than in other decks. Here we can see another element of the Type 1 Tarot de Marseille, this floating 4, Arabic 4, not Roman, in front of the face of the Emperor. The Path, the Lover, the Chariot, the Justice, or Justice. As you can see, the faces are very peculiar. I know people who call this deck the Payen, which is very similar. They call him grumpy decks, because of the faces, which are not very pleasant if you compare them, for instance, to the one by Pierre Madinier. The Tarot de Marseille by Pierre de Madinier has probably the most sweet faces, the sweetest faces probably in the Tarot de Marseille. It's La Pendule, the Death, unnamed card, 13th card, as you prefer. This card has probably been, yes, it's been the most challenging for making this restoration, because all the lower part in this card was so worn out, so destroyed, that it was very difficult to see what was here in the original card. So I had to play a lot with the intensities and brightness and saturations of the colors, trying to guess, or trying to see at least the volumes and a few lines to determine what was here in the original card, because it's really hard to see it. And that's why it's been so satisfying. Sometimes this project has been heartbreaking, but sometimes it has also been very enlightening and has given me a lot of satisfaction. One of the things I've learned in this process, you can see it very clearly here in this card, is the absolute lack of symmetry. All cards, all the major arcana in this deck are completely asymmetrical. What we can see here, this space here on one side of the tower is way smaller than this one. You see here is bigger than here. The tower is not in the middle of the card, and the same happens with almost every single card. They might look regular, it might look symmetrical, but they are not. Look at the spaces here. So in order to make it even more evident, I've changed a little the margins. So this one margin here on the left is smaller than this margin here on the right. This margin is a bit bigger than this one, but just in case, to make it even more evident, as I said before. This is the card of the monk. Here you can see the two letters IP, Yan Payan, say many people. There are some historical experts that say that this deck was engraved by the same person that engraved the deck, the Tarot de Marseille by Jean-Pierre Payan. So that's why they say that the Tarot by Dodal and the Tarot by Payan were made by the same person, and that's why they are so similar. I don't know if that's true or not, but just in case, I have maintained these two letters, the IP here, because it was in the original. I decided to maintain it. This is another card which is a landmark, a card that identifies immediately. This deck has the Tarot de Marseille by Jean Dodal, and is this blue sun. I only know one more deck which has a blue sun, which is the Spanish Tarot by Fournier, which is different than this one, but it's very identificative. If you see this card, you know that it is from this deck. But it's also true that the sun is not blue. So I made a second version, which if you buy this deck you will get, everyone will get it, which is the same card. It's exactly the same, but yes, I've changed the the color of the sun and make it yellow, which is what we see every day in our daily lives. So in the weather forecast, in the TV, the sun is always yellow, right? Well, that's why I've included two. One to maintain the tradition, and one to make it, I don't know, real? Maybe that's not the word. This is the card of judgment, and this is the one by Le Monde, the world, as you prefer. And well, I thought another thing that I want to say, the cardstock is thick, but at the same time it's very flexible. The idea is, as I said before, is that everyone can shuffle. It's good for shuffling without being too thick and too strong, so that it's impossible to shuffle them. Oh, just a second, please. Yeah, listen. Okay, the sound was shuffling. As you can see, the sound is great. This is one of the things that I like to test the most. I always test the sound of the cards when I shuffle, with every new deck I get. Obviously, with a full deck, it will have it sound much better, but this is just the major arcana. Well, let's see. Just a few cards so you can see how you can read them, how readable they are. Well, oops, too much, as usual. Well, if you want to know more about the technical specifications and the story behind the indigo color dream that I had and everything, you have all the information in our website. Our website is in Spanish, but if you use Google Chrome or another translator, it will automatically translate the website, the page. It will translate it automatically to your language, so it will not be difficult for you to understand and to buy the deck. If you're watching this video in YouTube, I'll leave the link down here, and if you're watching it in Instagram, you can see the link in our bio. Sorry. In Spanish is biography, biografía. In English is biography. Similar but different. Just like this, which is similar to all the decks but different to everyone else, because there's no other deck like this. There are many similar decks, but not one like this. So that's all. Thank you for your attention, and well, see you next time. Bye bye.